Wow. Hello and welcome to another edition of The People's Rose. I'm Jarrett.
And I'm Brooke.
Hey, this is it's gonna be an interesting week. We've got so much reality TV to talk about. We have not been on the air. You'll say we have not been on your podcast feeds in quite a bit, but it's been dry. But we're back.
We've watched some stuff.
We've watched some stuff.
But
stuff we didn't. I guess we felt didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
We just didn't have the energy. We still have an archived episode that I'll just have to get around release.
Yeah, that'd be a little bonus ep for
right.
one
But
day.
Speaking of eps, okay, we're talking about this for the foreseeable future.
Really, our cream of the crop shows are on right now.
It's the Super Bowl. It's the Olympics of reality TV,
which are gonna start soon. Too.
Exactly. Which I have a segment planned for that. I don't know if we've talked about that. We can work it out. Okay, but we're going to talk about, hit them with it. We're going to talk about what? Bachelorette? Yes.
Claim to Fame.
Yes.
Big Brother.
Yes.
And what's the last one? Oh, The Mole.
The Mole. And we'll sprinkle in some other stuff that's related to all the other things that are going on in the world, the Olympics, reality TV, maybe some cheerleading, maybe some NFL reality TV.
That's coming in Brooke's Buzz.
Right, and so we've just got so much to talk about. Thus, here's how it's probably going to work. Okay, this is the schedule. This is for all of those who don't know how seriously we take this. This is our schedule. We've got The Bachelor. Mm-hmm. We've got... Bachelor on Mondays.
Yeah.
Then we've got Claim to Fame on Wednesdays. Mm-hmm. In addition to that, we've got Big Brother on Wednesdays. We've got Big Brother on Thursdays. We've got Mole. That's just all the episodes are out. We're trying to work through that as we can.
That will probably be like 2 episodes. We actually won't talk about that for
right. But it'll still be something. Yeah. We have Big Brother on Sunday, but to be honest with you, Big Brother's 24/7.
Yeah. You miss a day and you're totally behind.
Right. So we will have Big Brother content, Lord willing, every single week. Mm-hmm. So we are excited to talk about all of it. And like I said, because there's going to be so action packed, what I think we're going to do weekly is try to drop 2. When they're coming in the week, we're going to try to get them. We're going to try to get them out as soon as possible. But that means you'll get your Bachelor and Claim to Fame, kind of your ABC reality show episodes. We'll follow it up with a Big Brother special. And Big Brother and then whatever else it's got going on will come on that week. So we're going to try to go back to 2 episodes per week, 1 recording session. So you're going to, if you want to hear about reality TV and you want to know our perspective on it, trust us.
We're here for you.
We are here for you.
We got you
If we don't get it on the pod, reach out to us on social media.
I'd love to engage and chat with someone about the Housewives.
Okay, exactly. And so we've got we're the People's Rose on all social media, the Instagram, Twitter, and Threads especially. You can find us there. We're gonna try to be on Reddit a little bit, commenting, but mostly commenting about Big Brother. But like I said, we've got a lot to talk about. We're gonna try to get to all of it.
Let's go.
And we're going to start off with The Bachelor.
Let me just say this, and I've said it a million times. I don't know if I've said it on this podcast before, but I will say it again.
Okay.
Bachelorette, so where all the guys are together, and she's picking, the girl is picking a guy, is way more dramatic than The Bachelor. And if I hear somebody else say that women are more dramatic than men, I will point them to The Bachelorette, because when you get all those guys together, the drama starts instantly.
I agree. I would say all humans are equally dramatic. Okay. But I will say the guys' drama is definitely, it just makes such less sense.
Yeah.
That it's more it's I don't even know what to say. But it's a different flavor of drama.
It's almost like deeper.
Yeah, well, I think half of the drama that comes down when it comes down to these guys is pride, ego.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And I think that's so ingrained in a lot of stuff that if you just let it go wild, you're saying the stupidest stuff.
And I also think the men are more programmed for it to be a competition. Mm-hmm. And so they are competing for Jen.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Let's talk about Jen.
Yeah, let's get it out. We've got 2 episodes that we're referring to. We didn't get we're talking about the Bachelorette, but with the reason we didn't have an episode last week for you guys, we're overcoming Burl. We had the Burl for the premiere last week.
Oh my gosh.
We're in the Houston, Texas area.
We couldn't even watch the opening episode, episode 1. We couldn't even watch it at the premiere because we had no internet.
Well, no, we didn't have power.
Oh yeah, we didn't have power or internet.
Well, yeah, mostly we didn't have power.
Yeah, you're right.
And then later we didn't have the internet to watch the stream because we recorded on our cable DVR. Mm-hmm. So that kind of threw off claim to fame. Mm-hmm. I'm behind multiple episodes of House of Dragons if anyone cares. And so yeah, it's thankfully most people, my understanding, I would say 99% of people who lost power have gotten their power back. Believe it or not, there's still people that don't have their power.
Sad. That's
so
sad.
Hopefully Jen this season does a better job as Centerpoint and figuring things out. So that's why we've got 2 episodes worth of content. So instead of going episode by episode, let's just try to cover everybody. And I think we should cover, like you said, Jen. What's your thoughts? Give me. So
here's the deal. I liked Jen on The Bachelor.
Okay.
I thought she was pretty. I thought she was fun.
Okay.
She's the first Asian Bachelorette, which I think is really awesome.
Yeah.
They in the intro they had a little clip of her meeting some fans.
Yeah.
And they were like, "We love that you are representing us
as
the first Asian Bachelor," and I thought that was really sweet. So yeah. Now, okay, I'm curious to hear your thoughts because you have a hot take about Jen that I think I agree with. I don't want to steal your thunder.
Oh, well, it's not there. It's still in thunder. We've discussed it. I think it's pretty apparent that I don't even know if it's a hot take. It's just that Jen is not coming into this looking for her. And not to say they won't become her husband, but she's not. We've had so many that's like, oh, I'm just ready to settle down.
Well, that's like the thing. Like,
right.
Everybody says that's like the thing that the girls always say. Or the guys, too. I'm looking for my husband. I'm looking for my wife.
No.
And you pointed out that Jen has yet to say that, which is true. She's always just like, I'm here. What does she always say?
She says
ferocious love.
Ferocious love.
Oh gosh, it makes me cringe. But that's her thing, a ferocious love.
Yeah, ferocious love TM. I'm sure she's got merch already up somewhere. She strikes me, and I want to preface this, and then I'll let you get back to your overall take on her as just a fun-loving girl, who's looking for maybe something serious. But isn't looking to make, man. Well, here's some of the things I've said. She hasn't said I'm looking for a husband. She said she's looking for her ferocious love. Mm-hmm. I would say 80% of Bachelorette leads, they after night 1, they're like, I think my spouse, my wife or husband is in this room.
My wife is in this room.
She has not to say that. Maybe she will say that. We saw previews of her kind of maybe telling someone who might be her final one or her final or her second choice, I can't let you propose.
Yeah, we think that's like a producer trick.
Misdirection,
Where she's like, I can't let you propose, I just want to leave here like together as a couple but not engaged.
Right.
And there's a part 2 where she's having like a sit down with Jesse.
Right.
And he's like, okay, like we can go about this however you want.
Right.
And they kind of showed clips of her too, just like when they literally showed a clip of Sam M telling her he loved her, and she was like, how do you even know that? You don't even know me.
Right.
Where I feel like most of the leads would be like over the moon if someone told them that. Which honestly, I love that for her, that she's like actually,
No, definitely. She is I agree. Yeah, she seems. And these, I'm saying there's nothing wrong with this. It's just, it's a change of pace, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
She is like ready to have fun. She loves to flirt. She is told, Devin, who we'll get into, that she doesn't mind that he seems like a guy who's loud and talkative and likes to get attention and cause drama. She thinks it's fun. It hasn't crossed the line, even though we'll get into it a little bit, but that's stuff that she said to him. And she says she wants someone who laughs with her and puts her first. These are all great qualities. I just personally think my vibe from Jen so far is that we are getting and I don't mean this in a bad way. I have to say this. We're getting the have a good time Bachelorette. Like,
yeah,
it can be fun to date this many people. And she said over and over before every date, like, ooh, where are my hot guys? You know what I mean?
Well, and her thing is, like, it's shot o'clock, so, like, she likes to have fun and party.
Right.
And that doesn't necessarily mean she's not ready to be serious, but the way that she's going about it does seem like she's not looking for her husband like what we've typically seen.
Right. And so this is going to lead to predictions. We'll get into it later, but I was wondering if maybe from her we were going to get the like, oh, I had a lot of fun, but now I'm ready to make a more serious choice. Mm-hmm. And so there's some guys, maybe the Spencers, the Marcus, mm-hmm. that seem like they could be that choice. But I almost wonder if we should prepare ourselves for that not to happen this season, because so many seasons they end up making what would be the sensible choice. Mm-hmm. That's how Hannah Brown ended up with Jed and not Tyler Cameron.
Okay.
That's sensible, or Pilot Pete.
I don't know why Jed was the sensible choice.
To her, that's
yeah.
what she was thinking. She didn't know all the stuff we know.
Yeah.
At the time, and so I could see Jen being like, I just wanted a guy who we're gonna have a fun with, because that's the basis for me of being of good relationships. You know what I mean? And I can have fun and settle down with someone I have fun with. So guys who might be villains, and we'll get to them later. You know what I'm saying? That would be like, oh, they're gone. The more I'm thinking about it, it's like we could have a contender here where we haven't in other seasons.
We've seen some villains go to the end, like Rachel and Brian. R.I.P. to that marriage.
But that's what I'm saying. Those people that make it and were villains were very serious, almost too serious.
True.
And so you've got these guys that are like, oh, like I'm going to just stay out of the drama and be here, right?
No, Brian was dramatic.
Brian and Rachel?
Brian was. I'm sorry, I'm about to sneeze. Remember that none of the guys liked Brian.
Right, but he wasn't. They just didn't like him because he was number one. That just happens with guys. You're right.
He wasn't like fighting.
No, I'm talking about. It would be like if Waboom was a contender. You see what I'm saying?
Not Waboom.
That's the point I'm making. Is like guys that are like zany and weird that I would be like, oh, they're just producer picks. Might not be producer picks.
Oh my gosh.
But okay, I've gone on long enough. Is that how do you agree with me? No,
I agree. I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
And so we started off, and not to go beat by beat here, but anyways, they started off in a new location.
Yeah, there's a new mansion.
Well, is it a new mansion or was it just the first stop on this way?
Oh, you're right. Because they instantly went to Australia.
Yeah, I don't know if they're doing.
We've never seen before.
They might not be doing the mansion thing.
But what happened? Why?
Maybe the owner of the house just jacked up the rates, and they were just like, whatever. It's not that big a deal.
Wow. Okay. It looks like the same house to me. I mean, not really, but like a mansion is a mansion.
Yeah, you just need the little drive up. You don't even notice. And then, let's go over just some of the quick facts about Jen before we move on to the guys. She's from Boston, so we're getting our Northeast flavor again. We're not doing the Southerner girl again, which is a trope that they do sometimes. She of course is Asian. She's athletic. They showed her in her B-roll doing a lot of lacrosse, tennis, and sports like that. She is a physician assistant student. So she's going in the medical field. They talked about her rocky relationship with her parents, but that she's confident.
Her mom was there in the intro, so it seems like she's supportive.
Yeah, and it seems like her and her mother speak Vietnamese together, so. She has a strong heritage to her culture, and Yeah, I think we've covered our lead pretty sufficiently.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to. I don't want. We're just gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see if I end up liking Jen. I don't think I don't dislike her. You know what I'm saying? Because you do want the lead to make good, smart decisions.
Sure.
So I just want to make sure. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Let's get it to. What do you want to move on to?
I mean, we can just go over some things that happened first night.
Okay.
Sam M got the first impression rose,
and a lot more.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, they were kissing. They were making out. Really, they they have a physical connection.
Yeah.
That's just I think maybe all they have.
Well, I'm hoping it. Well, if that's who she picks, I'm hoping it's more than that. But they haven't really gotten past the physical connection because it's so strong, apparently.
Yeah. So he's also giving me Tyler Cameron vibes because they're both from they're both Southern,
mm-hmm.
and they're both contractors. And he kind of looks like him with the like blonde hair, white guy thing.
Interesting. Yeah, he was previously engaged and his ex cheated on him.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, that's what they got going on. In the first couple episodes, his main theme, I guess you could say, is just the sexual tension that he has with Jen. And
yeah.
So there's really nothing more than that to go off of, although he does seem to be one that is willing to get into the weeds, I guess you would say, with the other guys when it comes to drama, because he likes to speak up about it.
Right.
His name's Aaron. No, I'm thinking about the other guy, but he's definitely one. He's part of that posse that's like, hey man, I just don't think you're here for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm. Which, speaking of, so then we have Devin,
mm-hmm.
who is from Houston, H-Town. Devin,
let's go.
if you want to come on our pod, hit us up. He is, what did someone call him? Well, he looks like Pete Davidson. I said it, Jen said it, and then they did this, like, roast on a group date. And someone said something about, like, he was, what did they say? Something about Pete Davidson. It was funny.
Yeah, I have the joke written down here, someone, but, yeah, I don't see the look like Pete Davidson thing, but that's just me, I guess. I have a tendency to just root for the person who's from Houston as much as I can until they show me that they're not beautiful. Exactly. And I gotta say it. Devin has shown me nothing to make me not root for him.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Jarrett used to have this thing. Haven't seen it so much lately. Are you looking at me like that? Okay, where he was like always going for the villain. Wow. You kind of changed your tune on that, but now Devin is our first villain. He's getting our first villain edit.
I don't know, man.
And Jarrett is like right back into this going for the villain arc.
I don't even know if he's a villain. I almost wonder if he is a victim in this sense.
Oh my gosh.
Because, no, he's definitely an antagonizer in the sense that he doesn't care
to
upset people and step on toes.
And because he encourages it. Like, he lets it go on. He could choose to disengage.
Well, I don't know if he encourages it. I think this is why I like The Bachelorette, because a lot of the competition is just posturing. You know, he's not, he doesn't have to lie down if he really likes the girl, you know what I'm saying? He has to compete and show her she's interested, especially when he addresses it. She gives him nothing but positive feedback.
Okay, Jarrett, so can we get into him being interrupted on the date with Jen, or should we wait for that?
No, let's talk about it. We're freeform here. Okay. We got 2 episodes.
So in the second episode, cocktail party. Is it cocktail party or group date?
Sure.
Cocktail party. Devin and Jen are talking, and Thomas. Is it Thomas?
Yeah.
Yeah, Thomas all of a sudden has beef with Devin because Because on the other group date party, the guys got sent home early.
Right.
And so they were like, all right, guys, the guys who got sent home early, let's like be respectful and let them have time first.
Yeah.
And Devin was like, oh yeah, sure, yeah, whatever, no problem. And then as soon as the cocktail party, Devin stole Jen away. And Thomas got irate that he would do that.
Yeah.
So what Thomason decided to do was go interrupt their date to not pull Jen, but pull Devin and have a chat with him about him pulling her first. So then Jen does what I would have done, any smart woman would have done, and goes to the door and listens to this little conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just ridiculous. But let me ask you this. If you were in that position, you were Devin, and we were having a chat, and some guy comes in and pulls you, would you go talk to him?
I would be like, I would have said, Jake, you want to speak to me, not her? You know what I mean? I'll talk to you in a second, but I want to spend my time speaking to her. If you're coming to interrupt me to talk to her, I mean, I would say no to that too, but I guess sure, you can get your time. But if you want to talk to me, bro, I'll talk to you at the hotel. We could talk whenever.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Right, so
Devin didn't do that. Devin chose to engage in a conversation with him.
No, he didn't. He said, excuse me, to Jennifer, because, because he was like, something was up. I don't know if he didn't know what was going on. He didn't know that guy was coming over. He's just, I need to talk to you right now. So who knows what he's going to say. So this is my point. Devin, in fact, told him, and everyone who was honest and not upset about it probably heard him. And that's why so many guys were like, hey, you're true to what you said you're going to do. He said, I agree. You guys should get your time. I'm not going to go to the back of the line.
Yeah.
And that implies if I'm going to, I like to be first. So that's what I'm going to do. He said, but, I might not get seconds. He didn't say that, but you know what I mean? But he's like, yeah, but y'all deserve y'all time.
Yeah. So
if a guy says, hey, okay, yeah, you can talk to her, but if you're going to stand around, I'm going to go pull her first. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm going to let you talk to her. Then I'm going to try to pull her first if that matters to me. You know what I'm saying? But that's an ego thing. So that's all I'm saying. Devin isn't, I appreciate people who tell you what they are and are what they say they are. He's not deceitful.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Well, so then Thomas goes and talks to Jen, and she's like, what was that about? And you can tell she was totally unimpressed.
Yeah.
And she's like, any of you could have pulled me first. Like, I've liked that he pulled me first.
Right, and then you went and talked to him, and she was, I mean, so that's what I'm saying. So why, I don't understand how Devin is an antagonizer, but I wouldn't say he's a villain. Same thing with Olivia. Like, that's why I liken it to.
Yeah, you rode for Olivia.
And just other people who follow, who this happens to.
Olivia on Ben Higgins season?
Yeah, and then a little bit of
reporter.
Yeah, a little bit of Marina, and she was also from Texas. A little bit of Marina, was that her name from last season? With Joey, Mariana.
Oh,
Maria as well. And that what people didn't like about her is that she was herself.
Yeah, true.
And that she didn't seem to aggressively get in. She wasn't putting other people down. It's just that her outsized personality impeded on other people.
Yeah. So let's get into Thomas because Thomas, so he's Vietnamese. And he was a really good swimmer. He almost went to the Olympics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he, so him and Jen kind of connected because they're both Vietnamese.
Mm-hmm.
But I did think he was a little boring for her.
Oh no, I don't think so. I think those relationships. I don't think he would be too boring. I just think it's such a waste to do some of those things because, especially with a lead like Jen, because, I think clearly they see they have a Vietnamese connection, but to make that the basis is that we're both the same race and come from the same cultural background could make you close, but you're still behind everyone else on personal connection.
True, yeah.
So I actually do think if he continued to show his personality, the more I saw of his personality, I was like, oh, if he wasn't, whining and complaining, you know what I mean? It looks like he's a guy who's animated or something like that. But like if you're a lead and you're like, oh yeah, we both know what a struggle and the pros and the cons and the ups and the downs of our shared cultural history. It's just like taking a history lesson together. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
And if that's what you're looking for in a relationship, okay, you know that. But I don't think you have to spend an entire first interaction going over that, because you're going to have tons of time to do that. So much of this is about, we got a week or a month and a half to see if we connect in a way that could last forever. And that's never based on we are both Vietnamese or we are both Irish. You know what I'm saying? And so I was just like, you kind of stalled yourself, and you should have maybe like made that a second date thing, because he would know you were speaking. Yeah, that's
fair. I do feel like he switched up quick. Like, he was chill. He seemed chill and cool. And then he just, like, flipped a switch and was ready to pounce on Devin.
Yeah, that's another thing about Devin. And not to make this the Devin pod, but Devin is a kind of guy that people were coming at him, and this only upsets people more, which is why it's such a good way to handle things. He wouldn't back down. He was definitely, because he wasn't going to shy away. He's like, I respect that. He stood up for himself. But also, people were insulting him and cursing him out and passive aggressively giving him mental health books.
Oh
and
my gosh.
Calling him names. Okay, and calling him,
that's
but
someone else.
My point is that he didn't go like, what, bro?
True.
He would just laugh it off. And
True.
Like, okay. That's very funny. I'll check this out.
Yeah.
Probably not, though. Everyone roasted him, and he just laughed. He was just like, oh, those are some good roasts or whatever. Right. But, they're scared of him. You know what I mean? And people, when you're that kind of self-assured and you don't have to lash out, I think that really bothers people because he's so assured of himself. And if they're either not or they're not assured of him, they think it's a game or a front.
Right.
But I don't think it's a game with him. I just think that's how he is. The one thing I have yet to see with Devin, it's probably my last word on this episode about him, is does he actually like Jen? Yeah, I think he likes Jen. But is it, it also, is it just is it going to cross over into I just want to win? You know what I mean? And so that's why I'm withholding the villain title. Because if he actually likes her, and is pursuing her, then I like, do what you got to do. You know what I mean? But if it turns into I'll do whatever I need to win, and then I'll leave or whatever, then he's a villain. That's why I'm withholding.
Yeah, judgment. I see what you're saying. Yeah, so that was another thing that involved Devin, though, was Aaron, who got upset with Devin initially because on the group date, Devin pulled Jen aside to go get ice cream.
Yeah.
And Aaron was super pressed that she would do that. So a little background on Aaron. Aaron is Noah.
Boring.
I don't know Herb. Herb?
No, I don't know, but it's boring, whatever it is.
It's his twin. Which I thought at first was pretty cool. What, you thought that was boring from the jump?
Well, that guy just was kind of a boring guy, and then his relationship with I forget her name, but
yeah,
they have such a strong connection. I'm happy for him, but it's also very boring. There was no it was just like they hooked up. I mean, they got connected right away on the beach, so his storyline has just kind of overall been a little boring, and then his brother come in and seems to be the boring version of him, and also passive aggressive.
I thought he was gonna. I kind of thought he had potential.
No, from the jump.
Pretty good looking. He's tall. The tall men always go further.
He's divorced.
But then he was divorced, and he was just getting so irritated by Devin, and it was kind of just bro, this is showing your insecurity by how annoyed you are at Devin. Being that's not fair that you pulled her aside on a group date. It was probably 5 minutes or less.
Yeah, he's boring. He's a wet blanket. He's a crybaby. And I mean this in a most respectful way. But it's just the kind of guy that's just bro, and actually those are the kind of guys that in a certain context are the kind of guys a girl might want, but it's definitely not a girl like Jen wants.
Yeah.
Some people want the quiet, reserved, respectful, overly chivalristic, if that's not a word, but you know what I'm trying to say, guy, which is kind of him, fight for her honor, lift her up as my queen, I'm her sole protector. Yeah, okay. That does not seem to be Jen. She likes that Devin stole her away, and more than Devin, she said she likes when guys are talkative and outgoing. And so many of the guys on date 1 or date 2 are like, including Aaron, like, yeah, I'm kind of out of my element, There's such these big personalities that I'm kind of like a shrinking violet. I'm not really, one to stand out. And she said that's not what she's looking for.
Yeah, true.
Now she's very nice about it, and she said, "No, I want you to be yourself, and I enjoy talking to you." And I'm like, you can be that kind of guy in a group of guys because you're not trying to, date 25 other guys. I'm talking about the guys. But when you're with her, show her your personality.
Yeah.
Don't talk about other dudes and talk about how intimidated you are by the other dudes. Now maybe on date 4 when you've got a little more vulnerability that you can let loose, but again. Let's get some personality and not just be the here for the right reasons police.
Sure. Well, so let's talk about the first one-on-one.
Well, here's the deal.
What?
We are going to have to make it quick.
Why?
We're on the clock.
For how long?
We got about 2 minutes.
Okay, well, so Marcus goes on the first one-on-one. Mm-hmm. He's pretty boring.
Yeah.
They skydive, though, so of course they get this false sense of, they trauma bond, right?
Right.
And then they kiss, but I think he's too boring for her.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have the 2 group dates.
It was a good kiss after the adrenaline.
Yeah, it was. It was very adrenaline-filled, though.
And I think he's a strong contender, like I said, with Spencer. If she goes I had a lot of fun, now it's time to, start thinking about...
Yeah.
House, kids, settling down.
I agree.
But I don't think she's there yet. So I could see him being like a hometown.
Kind of like towards, what you were saying, like he gets to the end, but then he's like the safe choice and someone else is like the party fun choice. Yes. And she goes with the fun choice.
Yes.
Yeah. And
or like the sexual chemistry choice.
And same with Spencer.
Yeah.
Spencer would be the family guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, group dates.
So Grant gets the rose on the group date. I just don't buy anything Grant says. He just sounds fake. It sounds
definitely.
too rehearsed.
Super fake.
It sounds like he's just playing a part.
Super fake.
And so I'm surprised he got the rose, but maybe it's just because it's early, and so she's just like, it sounds good, okay.
Yeah.
And then on the other group date, Dylan got one-on-one time. Oh, we didn't talk about Dylan from Cut.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we can extend the clock a little bit. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna continue this segment on the Bachelorette. Like I said, we've got a lot to cover, and I'm watching the clock with us. But if you'd like to hear the rest of this discussion and you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and check out our pod, We're the People's Rose. The links are down below. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast app, just continue to listen. If this little...
And if you watch Cut videos, then you definitely want to
keep
listening.
We're about to talk about Cut. We might even link the episode down in the YouTube description.
Good idea.
So if you're on the podcast, you need to go watch the YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, you need to go listen to the podcast. Hear us talk about Cut. So let's keep it going. Okay. So Dylan is a contestant this season.
Dylan is a med student. He's 6'5", extremely tall.
Okay.
Handsome.
Okay.
Dark skin.
All right. And that's our Dylan segment for that.
Okay, no, but Dylan, so we watch a lot of Cut videos. Cut is a YouTube channel if you don't know. And they do, how would you describe their videos?
Oh my goodness. So we watch Cut and Jubilee, and Cut is like a YouTube. It's more than just a YouTube people in a room like we are. They got a production studio. They're the real deal. And I would say it's one
of their biggest things is Truth or Drink, right?
No, I would say their biggest thing is the button.
Oh,
where singles sit across from each other and slam a button in the middle of the table. It's like a speed dating. That's what I would describe it.
Speed dating, yeah.
Their content ranges from various types of speed dating with twists and games and stuff to panel social experiments.
Yes.
We brought a bunch of people in, and we're going to have one person guess who here is what religion these people are.
Kind of like mini reality TV episodes.
Yeah, it's like if YouTube, it's the reality TV of YouTube.
Yeah, basically, and a lot of them are like dating.
Yeah, and Brooke and I,
geared
being
towards
the
dating.
fiends that we are for reality TV, of course, found it. So, said all that to say, Dylan was on a couple episodes of these cut dating shows where he, in the span of 30 minutes, edited 30 minutes, dates someone. I forget exactly which they won. I know one was a matchmaker chose his date for him.
Yeah.
There was a group of girls, and they kind of speed dated, and then a matchmaker decided who he was.
Yeah.
Then he was participating in a couple other ones. So we know, oh my gosh, we watch these videos so much that we recognize when he was cast, like, oh my goodness, we know him from cut videos.
Yeah.
So he is on the show. I guess we kind of have to root for him.
Not have to. Like, I want to root for him.
Definitely, but I don't think him and Jen are the right match.
He honestly seems like a really good guy.
And not to say that Jen isn't a great girl.
Yeah, but we were just talking about how Jen might not want the safe choice.
No, you're right. He
seems like a safe, stable choice. He's a med student.
Younger.
Like, he just seems like he has a lot going for him. I mean, she does too. She's a PA student, but
one thing we haven't talked about really is that Jen very much likes to flirt. I actually don't think she's great at flirting, but that is a person. That's kind of like an in-person thing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe her presence is different. Anyways, she likes to flirt and be flirted with.
True.
She likes a smooth talker, not a slimy person. Someone who can, make it. And so a couple times, guys have dropped lines, and she's like, "Oh, that was good." You know what I mean? And his approach is more classic gentleman. Nice, sweet, which isn't wrong. I just don't know if those vibes match.
For sure.
But he won the kind of little mini one-on-one because of how he stepped up with a snake, right? And they had a good talk.
And he got a rose.
So I'm hoping, well, I mean, if they end up together, I hope that happens. But I don't think it will. I'm hoping that he goes far enough that he becomes a part of Bachelor Nation. And I don't think he'll be the Bachelor. He doesn't seem Bachelor material. Yeah. But maybe we'll see him around, because he seems like a good guy. You know what I mean? So that's Dylan. We've talked. We had 2 episodes to cover, so we're not going to cover everything. If there was one other person from the cast that you want to talk about, spend 30 seconds on, who would that be? Or a situation or anything about the season?
I don't think so. Other than, who was it that brought Truth or Dare for the first night? Because that was kind of funny. Yeah,
I forgot his name. You thought that was funny? I thought that was a producer thing.
I don't know. You're probably right. Someone acted like they brought Truth or Dare, and they played Truth or Dare. But the funniest part was that Mose, this guy named Mose, who ended up getting sent home night 1, right? He, the question was the truth. It was the truth.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It was like, have you ever ghosted someone? And he
said,
so
of course.
Casually was just like, yeah, all the time. So, yeah, he didn't make it through.
Yeah, and then another, I guess for 30 seconds, I don't know who casted Akeem, but they definitely weren't casting him to be a serious contender. It was only because he's hilarious. And his personality and the things he does are so outlandish.
Yeah.
And his eyes bulge out of his head. He literally is so animated. What was it that he was scared of? The spiders?
Oh, yeah.
Was that the spider? The spider was crawling all over.
Dude, I don't blame him. That thing crawled all the way up his arm.
Right.
Oh, that gives me chills just thinking about it.
Right. I think you said, you quoted as saying he has crazy eyes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I wrote that down. I want to make sure that got said. So, that's all I got. We got other guys. I'm sure the previews look good. Sure, we'll have much more to talk about with Jen season. But that's it for Jen season. Like I said, we also watch ABC reality TV shows, and there is a reality TV show on ABC that's now coming on Wednesdays. It used to come on Mondays after The Bachelor, called Claim to Fame. let's get into it. For those who don't know, Claim to Fame is kind of like your Big Brother type of reality show, and that a bunch of people live in a house. Each week, there's a way where they eliminate each other from the house. Survivors like this as well. At the end, the last person in the quote unquote house or surviving or last is the winner. Now, how do they go about eliminating people? It's called Claim to Fame because everyone in the house has a famous celebrity relative. And the goal is to figure out who everyone's celebrity relative is. So they have a bunch of competitions. They do all that, blah, 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 blah. And every episode, every week, every day, whatever the time period is, they have a guess off. And that's where, like, let's say I am the guesser, because of the competitions we played. I have to choose one of the other housemates to guess and say, okay, this is their celebrity. So I'm the guesser, and I guess, okay, I'm gonna guess Brooke's celebrity, and I guess that you're related to Tom Hanks, and then it goes, no, she's not related to Tom Hanks, and I'm like, oh, so I go home because you're related to Shania Twain, or I'm just making.
But before he goes home, they reveal who his celebrity.
Right, and it turns out I'm related to Denzel Washington or whatever. So, but if I were to guess you right, I say Shania Twain, and ding, 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 you already, you go home, and I don't have my celebrity guess, and I stay in the game.
Yeah. Which, did you say this? The challenges give them clues.
Yes, also,
for guessing who they are. And if you win the challenge, then you get to go into the wine cellar, and you get to choose a clue from one person.
Right. So we have, that is the main mechanics of the game. It's on season 3 now on ABC. And man, it's a new reality show, competitive. And so all of the meta of the strategy wasn't there the first season. There's might have been only 1 or 2 people who were actually thinking strategically the whole time. And then the second season, we saw a little bit more and more of that. This season feels like an inflection point.
Full
where
force
everybody
strategy.
is like going off the wall, crazy, doing things that I was like, I would not have thought about. I hadn't seen that. We've never seen that before. And it's just made for some good TV. What are your thoughts about season 3 of Claim to Fame?
It's great. My thoughts about Claim to Fame in general is just like, it is so hard. I mean, these people will name celebrities that I've never even heard of. And I'm just like, how do they get them? It's so hard. And I sometimes think it comes down to like, whose celebrity is just the hardest to guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's that's kind of not fair because there's no rhyme or reason. It's not like categories. Like they're all actors. It can be actors. It can be TV
presenters.
It could be writers,
scientists.
Like there's
musicians,
no rhyme or reason.
Athletes, political figures.
Yeah.
We've had it all so far. I think it's what makes it such a good strategy show is because for season 1, Simone Biles' sister was on there.
Yeah.
And everyone knew instantly because she looks like her twin.
They look identical.
It's like you wouldn't even have to be on Claim to Fame to be like, is that Simone Biles' sister? You might even go, is that Simone Biles?
Yeah.
So, but she stuck around because everyone knew who she was. So they're like, I'm not wasting.
They were like, I'll just
save
keep
the
it
easy
in our
guesses.
back pocket.
Yeah, save the easy guesses for when we absolutely need it. And then you have people who are just unguessable in the sense that they're related to Frank Sinatra and no one's thinking
or that
old.
Country guy who won season 1 or season 2.
I don't know. I don't think he won, did he? Did he win?
I thought so.
I thought he got second for some reason.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, but like Country does not do well.
No. Well, for them, they do well because nobody can guess them.
Right. Because nobody guesses them.
Yeah.
They don't fill the house with a bunch of people who love country music. So that's always like a...
So if you're related to a country music artist, you might have a really good shot of winning Claim to Fame.
Like if it's not an incredibly popular one that everyone knows.
Shania Twain.
Yeah, but like if it's somebody no one... Like that's just a little bit less popular, you're basically good until the end. So, I mean, we've got a lot of cast. I wish, and since Brooke and I don't look up spoilers, we can't be like, oh, so-and-so celebrities in there, so-and-so celebrities in there. Here's the celebrities we are sure about, though.
Okay, because we already know. Because
we got their clue. There's a lady named Naomi who's on the show. Mm-hmm. She has an insane amount of pop culture knowledge.
Oh my gosh, yes. She's the one that's like naming all these people, and I'm like, how are you even doing that?
Yes, and her celebrity relative is 100% Molly Ringwald. They give these clues when they go to the wine cellar that the winner gets from a challenge, and her clue is a picture of a cherry. Here, let me enlarge it for my co-host here. A picture of a cherry, a picture of a cherry, a bomb, oh no, that's not her. That's the wrong clue. Because I was like, how does this lead to Molly Ringwald? Mm-hmm. Hers is a bra, the letter T, a backpack, a crown, a exit sign, a bat with a club or like a club, and 4 breakfasts, like a croissant and a coffee thing. 4 pictures of that repeated. So that's clearly a brat pack, queen, something exit, club, breakfast club.
Breakfast club.
Now, we don't know exactly what the clue is exactly because of the exit sign, but that's 100% Molly Ringwald.
And then there's also clues on the clue wall.
Yeah, there's a big wall
point to Molly Ringwald too.
Right. And so and then there's other things that have happened, but she's 100%. And then her reaction to finding out that her clue was that, because the person who pulled her clue came up and told her that, it was obvious that it's Molly.
And her name's Naomi?
I believe so.
So Naomi orchestrated getting the girl out who got her clue.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the tricky things. We have had
I think we should say this. So night 1 they play like 2 truths and a lie. Uh-huh. So they have to tell 2 truths. They each have a moment to go up there and tell 2 things that are true and a lie about themselves or about their celebrity. Which also they can change their name.
Well, they can actually say anything. They can lie about anything.
Oh, they don't have to do 2 truths? 2 truths?
Well, no. They have to say 2 truths and a lie because that's the game.
Yeah.
But they can get up there, like my name's Jarrett, right? Mm-hmm. They can get up there and say, my name's Brian. I'm from Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I mean? Those are, now you're already off. Or I can get up there and say, like Miguel, he's changed his name to Miguel to sound more Hispanic.
Yeah.
They changed Gracie Lou changed her name. She's not from Tennessee, but said she was.
Oh, okay. So they can
that's
change. That's
what I'm saying. You can say anything about themselves. They can change
anything about themselves, but then when it comes to their celebrity, they can say 2 truths and a lie.
Right.
So it's kind of like you don't really know. So like
but also they could also just straight up lie about their celebrity at all times.
Oh yeah, true.
That's what I was saying.
But I'm saying if they could, we'll take Emmy Lou for example. Gracie Lou. She's like, I'm Gracie Lou. I'm from Tennessee. My celebrity is best known for singing. He's won an Emmy and
whatever she said.
Something else. But you don't really know which one's true. But she changed her name to Gracie Lou in Tennessee because she wanted them to be thrown off and think that it was a country singer. Right.
So that's a strategy that's kind of existed since the beginning. They always are trying to deceive on the gender of their or the occupation or the claim or the reason the person's famous. But outside of that, like Miguel, he's done a lot of tricky stuff.
Yeah.
He orchestrated where he pretended to let his last name slip.
Well, first of all, the first night he said, my name is Miguel, blah, 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 blah. And then in his one-on-one, he was like, I changed my name because I want them to think I am
more Hispanic
than I am.
Right.
And, so then you tell what he did.
Well, yeah. So we're not going to get into that. We don't have time to do every single little beat by beat. But what I'm saying is he faked like he was just acted like he let his last name slip. Like he was pumping himself up and just walking around the house going like, you're a Banderas, you can do this. Because there's rumors out there. He heard people think that he might be related to Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
So they feed into rumors to justify that.
So then he orchestrated it because he told another guy, this is what I'm going to do. You go back to them and tell them you heard me say
right.
Banderas. And so the guy did. And so, sure enough, someone tried to guess his celebrity, and they guessed Antonio Banderas,
right.
and it was wrong. I have a theory that he's related to the Jonas Brothers.
I don't think so.
I think it's all a big...
I think it's just the curly hair throwing you off.
Yeah, but that could be a thing.
But the Jonas Brothers aren't Hispanic, though.
Yeah, but the kids might only be half.
Yeah, I don't see it.
He said, I'm trying to lean more into the Hispanic side, so he might really only be half.
Right, but...
Or partial.
Right, but I don't see it. Then also, you had Naomi, who instantly came up with a lie about someone who was in our alliance. She made an alliance with 2 other guys and had to quick thinking throw people off the scent by coming up with a credible celebrity that she knew was not related to the person she was speaking of. So we've just got a lot of deception. We've got a lot of strategy that's entered the game. And we've got, another person. The person that was working with Miguel is clearly related to Jackson.
Oh my gosh.
As in Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5.
He let it slip that his last name was Jackson.
Right.
And then as soon as he said that, we were like, oh my gosh, he looks like a Jackson.
Right. Even before that, I was like, oh, that's the guy. He's related to Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And then, and Naomi saw that as well.
Yeah.
Any guesses for everyone else's? We got the clue for HUD, I believe. And that HUD, and this is the clue I was talking about before, it has a picture of a cherry with a bomb, and then it's an artist and an owl speaking, and then a guy whose knee is hurting with a needle and thread and a thumbs up. So that's cherry bomb artist who... And then we don't know what the rest is. Knee sew up, thumb up.
That's just, none of that rings a bell for me at all.
I think this is a like, and so maybe it sounds, it's like, looks like, sounds like, I don't know what a knee and a thread could be. Knee thread like. Anyways, we're still working on that clue. We're going to try to give updates on people we figure out. We're not going to be spoiled, so don't let us know in the comments if you're like, oh, that's so-and-so's person, and that's so-and-so's person. We'd rather not do that. We really don't have to worry about it since no one really comments too often. But that is a new feature on Spotify podcast. You can leave comments. So if you have insight about any of the things we talk about on the podcast, feel free to comment. It's only been 2 episodes of Claim to Fame. Gracie Lou has gone home. She was related to John Cryer. And then another contestant who looks just like one of my aunts went home, and she was related to... I honestly forgot who she was related to. Robin Roberts. The
and
news
then
anchor.
Jill.
Oh yeah, Jill, because it was a double elimination.
Yeah, I don't know why they did double elimination.
And she was related to John Stamos. I don't think people would have got that for a long time.
They look nothing alike.
They look nothing alike. She honestly doesn't talk much, and so she wasn't like giving up clues on accident.
It's always a bummer to me when they go home so early. You don't even get to see like what the clues for their people were. Right. How
easy the clues might have been. If it was, what was that show he was on? John Stamos was on
Full House.
Once it got down to obvious like Full House star, it wouldn't have been hard for them. They just would have had 3 or 4 or 5 people to choose from. So that's what we got on Claim to Fame. Is there anything else you would like to bring up about it?
I think that's all for now. No one has successfully guessed anyone yet. Gotcha. Everyone has gone home just based off of they tried to guess and were wrong.
Right.
So it'll be interesting when we start to see more of the guessing.
Right. Well, we thank you for tuning in to the first episode this week. This episode is ending. But again, we have more podcast content that's coming out shortly. We will talk about Big Brother. We will talk about The Mole. We'll just kind of talk about all the other things we got going on. If Brooke is still awake, we'll have a Brooke's Buzz segment.
Oh, yeah!
As well. And so if you're watching on YouTube, check out our podcast. The link's in the description. We're also on social media where you can join in the conversation with us at The People's Rose. And then if you're listening, thank you for listening. Continue to listen. Please give us good ratings. Please comment on us. If you're listening on Apple, give us a review. Whatever you can do to show support, we appreciate it. And we're Hope you're ready for a reality TV summer with the People's Rose.